Season 6 Part 1 of
Normal words, but a horse guy
came out, and I'm gonna talk about it. So, Bojack Horseman is ending. Season 6 Part 1 just released, and the second half is coming out on January 31st, 2020. This is the final season of Bojack. The first half of the season focuses on Bojack's time at rehab. There are a ton of subplots in the first half of the season that focus on various side characters. One big one is Princess Carolyn struggling to be an adopted mother. I'm glad this show is ending. It's been on Netflix for a very long time, and it's good this show is coming to an end. It's good this series will get a proper conclusion. Bojack is a great show. I really like the final season's intro. I like how it represents the previous 5 seasons of the show. This review is gonna be mostly spoilerly, but there is a non-spoiler section. I will make sure to say when the spoilers start. I'll talk about episode 1 and give non-viewers a taste of what Bojack Horseman is like, but then I'll share my thoughts on the first half of this season and talk spoilers galore. I really like how the season opened up. It begins with Bojack at the hospital the day Sarah Lynn died. He lies and says that he found her at the planetarium dead, when in reality he was the one who got her back on drugs. The first episode of season 6 focuses on Bojack's first drink. There are various flashbacks to various parts of his life where he tried alcohol. There's a time he tried at a high school party, there's a time he was given alcohol by his hairdresser on horsing around, then there's the time he was given alcohol by his father, and finally there's the first time Bojack drank alcohol, where he snuck it while his parents were sleeping. One big object this season is the water bottle full of vodka that Bojack takes from a teenage girl named Jameson H. at the end of the first episode. The final season of Bojack features the title character feeling guilt because of the death of Sarah Lynn. Like Sarah Lynn, Jameson is in rehab. Bojack doesn't want her to die of an overdose like Sarah Lynn, so he brings her back to rehab and takes her water bottle full of vodka away. The water bottle of vodka is in a way its own character in this season. The suspense of this season is whether or not Bojack will drink the vodka, leading to a relapse. I highly recommend you watch this show if you haven't. It's really good. It's definitely the best Netflix animated show for adults. It's worth watching, unlike Big Mouth. Now I'm going to get into spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip to this part. I really liked part 1 of this season. I liked how sad it was at times and how uplifting it was at other times. One of the saddest things about this season was the reveal that Bojack was the reason Sarah Lynn became addicted to substances. Bojack accidentally left a water bottle full of vodka in his dressing room with Sarah Lynn drank when she was 10 years old. It's revealed that this is the reason Bojack holds on to that water bottle. That's why it reminds him of her. The season is about Bojack trying to help people. He's trying to become a better person, but even though he tries to be better, he ends up hurting people. Bojack harms Dr. Champ, the psychiatrist at the rehab facility he is at, by accidentally making him relapse. Dr. Champ gets drunk off the vodka in the water bottle that Bojack kept with him after he throws it out the window and gets it mixed in with other water bottles. You can tell that Bojack feels guilt for what he did. He ends up bringing Dr. Champ to another rehab center near the end of part 1 of this season. Dr. Champ gets mad at Bojack and tells him to remember what he did. Bojack replies saying that he will remember, since he's sober now. Now I want to briefly go over the subplots. I like the Princess Carolyn subplot a lot. I like seeing her struggle as a working mother. I really like the episode focusing on that a lot. I really liked how Vanessa Gecko gave her the advice on how to be a mom, since the two have been rivals in previous seasons. I also like seeing Todd take the role as entitled Princess Carolyn Project's nanny. I also like the ending where Princess Carolyn names the baby Ruthie, which was the name of her future cat daughter that she imagined in season 4. The Mr. Peanut Butter subplot was interesting. I liked how Mr. Peanut Butter felt guilt for cheating on Pickles with Diane. He made up with Pickles, but he got a lot of backlash for it since it went public. But he quickly gets sympathy after Princess Carolyn pretends he jumped in front of a car, which was driven by pop star Joey Pogo. This leads to Mr. Peanut Butter and Joey Pogo doing a tour about depression. I kinda wish they stuck with the subplot of people hating Mr. Peanut Butter and had him have actual depression, but the interactions between Joey Pogo and Mr. Peanut Butter during their tour are funny. One highlight of this season has got to be Bojack doing a crossover episode with Mr. Peanut Butter. That is one of my favorite moments of this season. It shows that Bojack has changed. He no longer hates Mr. Peanut Butter and now views him as a friend. It's a very heartwarming moment. The White Whale subplot with Diane and Guy was alright. I didn't hate it. There were some funny jokes like the new "it's okay to kill people if you're rich" law. The relationship between Guy and Diane was fine, but it isn't my favorite subplot of this season. One thing I liked about this season was the union subplot, which was clearly added in when Bojack Horseman animators wanted to unionize. The crew finally unionized recently. I thought it was great meta commentary. The subplot was about assistants unionizing. Now I'm going to talk about the final episode of Season 6 Part 1. It's an episode that Bojack doesn't appear in at all. Various characters return, two of them being Kelsey Jennings and Gina. In the episode, Kelsey goes from directing a Chicken for Days commercial to directing a female-led superhero film. But what's depressing is Gina's story. She still has PTSD of the moment Bojack choked her, and it's affected her performance. The director she's working with can clearly tell that her attitude has changed. She's another example of a life Bojack ruined. The episode also features reporters who are investigating Sarah Lynn's death. Hollyhock also appears in this episode. The episode ends with Hollyhock meeting Peter, a guy who first appeared in Season 2 as Petey Repeat. Peter tells her about how Bojack almost ruined him and his friends' lives after he bought them alcohol. So he's about to say Bojack's name. That's a really good cliffhanger. As far as my hopes for Season 6 Part 2 are, one thing I really hope happens is to see Charlotte return. That moment in Season 2 where she confronts Bojack was very intense. It was probably one of the most intense moments in the series as a whole. Trying to sleep with her daughter Penny was one of the worst things Bojack has done. Since Bojack went to apologize to Penny in Season 3, Charlotte is definitely going to go after Bojack, especially since the reporters investigating Sarah Lynn's death are looking for Penny now, since Bojack talked about her in rehab. Alright, spoilers are over. This season so far is about Bojack becoming a better person. The whole entire show is about him trying to become a better person. Bojack has done a lot of terrible things throughout the show, and in the second half of Season 6, these things will definitely come back to haunt him. Everything seems good for Bojack in the first half of this season, but things will definitely get crazy once the series comes to a close. Bojack, like I said earlier, is the best adult animated Netflix show. It's so iconic that Family Guy even referenced it. I highly recommend it. Go watch it when you have time. I love this show so much to the point where I binge the seasons the day they come out. And it's a shame that I won't be able to do that anymore. Season 6 seems to be off to a great start. In fact, the first half was very satisfying. It felt like a full season. It's gonna be hard to wait for the next half, but I think the second half is gonna be great and well worth the wait. This has been ShadeX, and thanks for watching.